What if I told you that you don't need a gym membership, you don't need exhausting workouts, and you definitely don't need to spend 2 hours sweating on a treadmill? In fact, if you consistently dedicate just 10 intentional minutes every day, you can create the conditions that encourage your body to burn more fat, especially stubborn belly fat. Now, let's be clear. No one can magically erase fat from a specific body part. Science has repeatedly shown that spot reduction is a myth. But there are daily habits that improve your metabolism, help control hunger, preserve muscle, and make your body more willing to use stored fat as fuel. The best part? Almost anyone can fit these habits into 10 minutes. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how. Let's begin. Tip number 1. Start with a 10-minute walk after your biggest meal. If you only choose one habit from today's video, let it be this one. Instead of collapsing onto the couch after dinner, go for a walk. Not an intense power walk, not jogging, just walk. Studies have found that walking shortly after eating helps your muscles absorb glucose more efficiently. That means your blood sugar doesn't spike as dramatically, and your body needs less insulin to manage the incoming energy. Why does this matter? Because insulin is one of the hormones involved in storing energy. When insulin stays elevated all day because of frequent snacking and inactivity, your body becomes less likely to tap into stored fat. A simple 10-minute walk can interrupt that cycle. Even better? Walking after meals improves digestion, reduces that sluggish food coma feeling, and adds extra calorie burn without feeling like exercise. It doesn't sound impressive, but remember, fat loss isn't built from dramatic actions. It's built from small actions repeated hundreds of times. Walking may be one of the easiest habits in the world, but here's something even easier. What if the biggest obstacle to losing belly fat isn't how much you're moving, it's what you're drinking? Tip number 2. Stop drinking calories. Liquid calories are sneaky. A soda here, a flavored coffee there, a fruit smoothie that looks healthy, an energy drink in the afternoon, a couple of beers at night. None of these feel like a meal. Yet together, they can quietly add 500 to 1,000 calories every single day. The biggest problem? Your brain doesn't register liquid calories the same way it registers solid food. You drink 300 calories, and you're still hungry 30 minutes later. Instead, make water your default drink. Coffee? Keep it simple. Tea? Perfect. Sparkling water? Great choice. If plain water feels boring, add lemon slices, cucumber, mint, or frozen berries. It tastes better without adding significant calories. Sometimes people think they're hungry, when they're actually just dehydrated. Drinking a large glass of water before meals can naturally reduce how much food you eat without requiring any willpower. Simple, free, effective. Now that you've removed calories you didn't even realize you were consuming, let's talk about something your body actually wants more of: protein. Tip number 3. Eat protein first. Here's a tiny habit that changes everything. Whenever you eat a meal, take a few bites of protein before touching the rice, bread, pasta, or dessert. Why? Protein is incredibly filling. It slows digestion. It helps preserve muscle while losing weight, and it requires more energy to digest than carbohydrates or fats. That means your body burns slightly more calories simply processing it. More importantly, protein keeps you satisfied. If you've ever finished a huge bowl of pasta only to feel hungry an hour later, you've experienced what happens when meals are low in protein. Aim to include foods like chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, lean beef, tofu, beans, cottage cheese. You don't have to become obsessed with counting grams. Just make protein the first thing on your plate. Protein helps control hunger. But there's another trick that makes eating less feel almost effortless. It has nothing to do with discipline. It's about volume. Tip number 4. Fill your plate, not your calories. Imagine 2 lunches. One is a cheeseburger, fries, and soda. The other is grilled chicken, roasted potatoes, vegetables, and fruit. Both might contain similar calories, but one fills an entire plate. The other disappears in 5 minutes. Foods with high water and fiber content physically fill your stomach. That sends fullness signals to your brain. Vegetables, potatoes, fruit, beans, popcorn, soup. These foods let you eat more food while consuming fewer calories. That's why many people who lose weight successfully don't actually eat less food. They simply eat different food. It's a psychological trick that works with your biology instead of against it. Eating smarter is important, but what happens after your meal matters just as much. And surprisingly, the next tip doesn't involve exercise either. Tip number 5. Move more without exercising. Here's something most people never hear. Your workout might only burn 300 calories, but your daily movement outside the gym can burn over 1,000. Scientists call this NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's the calories burned while walking around the house, standing, cleaning, gardening, taking the stairs, shopping, playing with your kids, pacing while talking on the phone. These tiny movements seem insignificant until you add them together. Instead of asking, how can I work out harder? Ask, how can I sit less? Stand while watching TV, walk during phone calls, park farther away, take stairs, stretch every hour. Those choices barely feel like exercise, but over months, they make an enormous difference. So far, we've talked about movement, protein, walking, hydration, and eating more intelligently. But here's the surprising part. You could do every single one of those perfectly and still struggle to lose belly fat. Why? Because your body burns fat just as much during recovery as it does during activity. And that's exactly where we're heading next. Tip number 6, sleep like it's part of your workout. Here's something most people completely underestimate. Fat loss doesn't only happen while you're awake. A surprising amount of progress depends on what happens while you're asleep. Think about the last time you only slept 4 or 5 hours. How did you feel the next day? Probably tired, less motivated, craving sugary foods, maybe even reaching for an extra cup of coffee just to function. That isn't just in your head. Poor sleep affects hormones that regulate hunger and fullness. It tends to increase ghrelin, the hormone that makes you feel hungry, and reduce leptin, the hormone that tells your brain you've had enough. In other words, lack of sleep makes healthy eating much harder. It also reduces your energy for movement throughout the day. You take fewer steps, skip workouts, choose convenience foods, and before you know it, your calorie intake has quietly increased while your calorie expenditure has dropped. That's why protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful fat loss tools you have. Aim for 7 to 9 hours whenever possible. Turn off bright screens before bed. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Try to go to bed at roughly the same time each night. You don't build a healthier body by staying awake longer. You build it by recovering better. Sleep prepares your body to perform. But there's another invisible factor working against many people every single day: stress. And unlike a bad diet, you often don't even notice it's happening. Tip number 7. Spend 2 minutes reducing stress. Stress itself doesn't automatically create belly fat, but chronic stress makes fat loss much more difficult. When you're constantly overwhelmed, your body produces more cortisol. Higher cortisol levels are associated with stronger cravings, emotional eating, and poor sleep. It's a vicious cycle. You're stressed, so you eat. Then you feel guilty, which creates more stress. Instead of trying to eliminate stress completely, which is impossible, learn to interrupt it. Take 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Practice slow breathing. Try this simple method. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Repeat for 2 minutes. You can also stretch. Walk outside. Listen to calming music. Write down what's bothering you. Small moments of relaxation won't magically melt fat overnight, but they make it much easier to stick to healthy habits tomorrow. And consistency is what really changes your body. Now, we've talked about food, movement, sleep, and stress. But there's one habit that's quietly destroying progress for millions of people: constant snacking. Tip number 8. Give your body a break between meals. Many people eat from the moment they wake up until right before bed. A handful of chips, a cookie, a sugary coffee, another snack, then dessert. None of these feel significant on their own, but together, they keep your body processing food almost all day. Instead of constantly grazing, try giving yourself longer breaks between meals. You don't have to practice extreme fasting. You simply need to stop eating out of boredom. Before grabbing a snack, ask yourself one question: am I actually hungry? Or am I just tired, stressed, or bored? Sometimes the answer surprises you. If you really are hungry, choose something rich in protein or fiber: Greek yogurt, boiled eggs, apple slices with peanut butter, a handful of nuts. Those foods satisfy you much longer than candy or crackers. Eating fewer, but more satisfying. Meals often feels easier than trying to resist dozens of tiny temptations throughout the day. By now, you've probably noticed a pattern. None of these tips require extraordinary effort. That's because the biggest secret to losing belly fat isn't working harder, it's making healthy choices automatic. And that leads us to one of the most powerful strategies of all. Tip number 9. Build tiny habits that stick. Most people fail because they rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Habits stay. Instead of trying to completely transform your lifestyle overnight, connect one healthy habit to something you already do every day. For example, after brushing your teeth, drink a full glass of water. After lunch, walk for 10 minutes. After making coffee, do 10 bodyweight squats. While waiting for your food to cook, stretch. While watching television, stand during the commercials. This is called habit stacking. Your brain already remembers the existing habit. You're simply attaching a new behavior to it. Eventually, you stop needing reminders. It becomes automatic. That's when fat loss becomes easier. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because you've become the kind of person who naturally makes healthier choices. There's only one final piece left. And honestly, it might be the most important lesson in this entire video. Tip number 10. Stop chasing fast results. Let's imagine two people. The first person loses 20 pounds in 2 months. They survive on tiny portions, do endless cardio, feel miserable, then gain all the weight back. The second person loses the same amount over 8 months. They enjoy their meals, walk daily, sleep well, lift weights a couple of times a week, and keep the weight off for years. Who actually succeeded? The second person. Because fat loss isn't about reaching a number on the scale. It's about creating a body that naturally stays lean. Your weight will fluctuate. Water retention changes daily. Salt intake changes. Stress changes. Hormones change. That's normal. Instead of obsessing over today's number, look at the bigger picture. Are your clothes fitting better? Is your waist getting smaller? Do you have more energy? Are you getting stronger? Those are signs that matter. Remember this, a healthy body is built slowly, just like investing money. Small deposits made consistently become something remarkable over time. Your habits work exactly the same way. Let's put everything together. Your 10 minutes each day might look something like this. Wake up and drink a glass of water. Eat a protein-rich breakfast. Take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Stand up every hour. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Reduce stress with a few minutes of deep breathing. Choose filling foods instead of processed snacks. Move more throughout the day. Build habits that become automatic. Repeat tomorrow. Notice something? None of these require a gym. None of them require expensive supplements. None of them involve starving yourself. They're simple, sustainable, and backed by science. Because here's the truth most fitness advertisements won't tell you. Belly fat doesn't disappear because of one magical workout. It disappears because hundreds of small decisions begin working together. One healthy meal, one evening walk, one extra hour of sleep, one less sugary drink, one more day of consistency. Those choices may seem insignificant today, but 6 months from now, they could completely change the person staring back at you in the mirror. So don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until next month. And don't wait until you feel motivated. Start with 10 minutes, because sometimes 10 minutes a day is all it takes to begin changing your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's been looking for a simpler way to lose belly fat. And remember, the best workout isn't the hardest one. It's the one you'll actually keep doing.